Hello everyone, my name is Priya Singh Range. I'm an assistant professor at the LG Institute of Physiotherapy. So, since the previous many videos, we have been talking a lot about vocational evaluation. We have been talking about vocational rehabilitation, the different processes that are involved in rehabilitation, the models of rehabilitation, etc. etc. So, today we'll be talking on the same lines about vocational problems. What are the different problems that are faced during the process of vocational evaluation as well as rehabilitation? So, the main problems that are faced are the lack of motivation on part of the patient, the lack of abilities, the lack of skills, disinterest, physical impairments, and certain subjective attributes, which we'll be discussing further on. So, let's start with the lack of motivation. The greatest factor that is determining the return to work after any kind of injury or sickness is the motivation level of the patient. If the patient is motivated enough, the person may come up from their injury or sickness even earlier. The patient may recover earlier than what the prognosis is on the side of the therapist. So, motivation plays a huge role, and it is one of the greatest factors that determines the return to recovery. What is motivation? It is the person's determination or persistence in pursuing a goal. It is what you're trying to do in order to reach your goal, in order to reach your target, how determined you are in order to gain your target. That is the motivation that you have. Lack of motivation forms a major problem, since a demotivated client will not be able to fulfill the requirements of vocational rehabilitation. The person will not be motivated enough to go through the entire process of evaluation and rehabilitation. Many a times it may happen that the person may leave in the midst of the evaluation process or the rehabilitation process, and it becomes very difficult for such a person even to come back, because motivation is something that cannot be taught by someone. It needs to be developed within. You can only guide a person, you can only counsel a person in order to get them motivated, but ultimately it is something that the patient needs to do on their own. If there is no motivation, or it cannot be developed, then it becomes really difficult for the rehabilitation specialist, and they need to realize that vocational planning for such an individual will be unsuccessful. The second problem that we usually face in the rehabilitation process is the lack of ability. What is ability? It is the innate capacity for performance that relates to proficiency in wide range of activities. Some people are quite able enough, some people are not that able enough, and this ability we need to distinguish from skill. We need to realize that both ability and skill are two very different terminologies. Like, ability is the innate capacity, it is an inherent capacity of an individual, whereas skill is something that can be trained by someone, that can be gained by due practice. Okay, so what is skill? It is something that is a demonstrated proficiency, that is something that is performed, and it results from training and practice. So ability is something that the person has inherently, it is not something that can be gained. Skill is something that can be gained from continuous training or practice, or vigorous training or practice. There are two kinds of abilities that exist. We have the general ability, which is the general intelligence, and which we have the special ability, which is the aptitude of the individual. The abilities that we require for different occupations can be categorized into several categories. For a person to go into any particular occupation, the patient needs to have some or the other kind of ability. Only then they can go into certain kind of occupation. Like ability to handle small tools, that is required for any job that requires mechanical stuff. So in order to do anything, any mechanical activity, you need to have that manual dexterity enough to handle these small tools. If that manual dexterity is not present, if that ability to handle these small tools is not present, then the patient may not be able to continue the vocation. the ability to discriminate between different stuff. That this can mean visual discrimination, where you need to visually sort out different things, or this can even mean tactile discrimination, when you where you touch and feel the different objects and you try to discriminate different objects. Numerical sorting is another ability where you need to know how to categorize different numbers. This is usually required for people who are related to accounting and bookkeeping. You need to have upper limb range of motion, because for most of the activities you require your upper extremities to work, especially when we are talking about professions like teaching, where you need to have that upper limb range of motion to write on the board, to reach the board. Clerical comprehension is usually required for clerical jobs, for computer working, or for bookkeeping, etc. The patient needs to have independent problem solving. Independent problem solving is something that is required in all the different jobs. If the patient does not have problem solving approach, the patient will always get stuck at some or the other point, and the patient will not be able to continue their task. So this is something that is required for all the different occupations. Multi-level sorting usually required for line workers. Whole body range of motion is also required for usually for people who are working as manual laborers. Eye hand coordination, again something that is required by all the different occupations. Soldering and inspection is usually required in jobs where you require soldering some different objects, or you need to inspect whether the object is qualified enough to be moved on to the next step of the manufacturing process or anything. Money handling, again something that is required by the accountants, or even by people who are involved in their own business where they need to handle money. Electrical circuitry and print measures, this is required basically for electricians or people who are working in the manufacturing process of electronic devices where electrical circuits need to be built up. So you need to also follow the blueprint that has been given for the manufacturing process of the circuit. And drafting, which is usually something that is required in a clerical job. So these are the different abilities that are required in the different occupations. Any individual who wants to go for vocational rehabilitation needs to have some or the other ability in this segment. Next is the lack of skills, which again is a huge problem, because many a times it may happen that the patient cannot go back to their original occupation, and we need to train the patient in some or the other new skill. Now, gaining this new skill requires ability. If a patient is able enough, the person may acquire the skill quite rapidly. If the patient is not able, the person may take more time in order to acquire skill. But it is also something that the person can practice more, the person can undergo training and try to develop. Skill is a learned proficiency. It requires training, it requires practice in order to be gained. Whenever a disability requires a change of occupation or limitation, initial occupation need retraining or special training is considered, as the ultimate goal is to return the person to productive activity as soon as possible. So many a times it may happen that the person cannot go back to their occupation, and we need to train the patient in some new skill. Now the training of this skill also requires some kind of effort on on the part of the patient, as well as on part of the skills trainer. But many a times it also may happen that the patient may have some other skill that is already present, like a person who is working as say a jewelry maker. The patient may not have the manual dexterity enough in order to mold that jewelry, but the person may have designs in their mind, so they can move on to the designing stuff, they can design the jewelry. So that is a skill which is transferable. So when a patient has a transferable skill, it becomes easier on part of the skill trainer, it becomes easier on part of the patient. But suppose if the patient does not have any kind of skill, then training a new skill, developing a new skill is quite difficult, which will require more of time and financial resources. So it is difficult if the patient needs to develop these new skills. So lack of skill is again a problem that is usually faced in vocational rehabilitation. Another problem which we face is disinterest on part of the patient, because a lack of interest is going to cause dissatisfaction in the job, which is in turn going to lead to discontinuity. Whenever we are going for vocational rehabilitation, we need to remember that the interest of the patient is as much important as the interest of the therapist, and we cannot consider these people who are coming for vocational rehabilitation to be any different from other people who consider themselves normal. These people are also normal in a way, and they also deserve that their interests are given due consideration. So we need to look at the interest level of the person. We need to ask the patient in what activity are they interested in, and depending on their interest levels, their sectors, we need to decide the occupation of the patient. Because if we give an occupation that the patient is not interested in, the patient will not be able to continue that occupation for a long time, and ultimately the patient will not be successful enough. The whole process of vocational rehabilitation will be unsuccessful. So that is another problem that we usually face. Another problem that we face is the physical impairments. Many a times it may happen that whatever occupation the patient previously had, the patient will not be able to continue the same occupation because of some or the other physical impairment. Usually the impairments that we see are problems in mobility. If the patient is not able to move enough, the patient is not mobile enough, the patient will not be able to conduct many jobs. The patient will be confined to a place, so we can only give them jobs that require them to be sitting at a place. So mobility, lack of mobility is always an issue. The lack of ambulation is again an issue, because the patient will not be able to move from one place to the next. So even the commutation for the person will be difficult. Upper extremity hand function is also another impairment that needs to be given consideration, because most of the activities are being performed with upper extremity. If the patient does not have upper extremity function, the patient does not have hand function, the patient can be trained in only a very limited number of occupations. Coordination, again a problem, because we need eye-hand coordination, we need hand-to-hand coordination to perform any kind of job. There are very limited jobs that can be performed with one hand. We need the hand-to-hand coordination, we need the eye-to-hand coordination for the different jobs. Motor speech is required, because we need the patient to communicate with their employer, we need the patient to communicate with their peers, their colleagues. If the patient is not communicating enough, the patient will again be demotivated, the patient may start lacking interest, and the patient will not continue their occupation. Strength and endurance are also required, because there might be certain occupations usually which requires labor work, where strength is required, and endurance is something that is required in all the different jobs. Because for any job, for any full-time job, you need to be there for 8 to 10 hours. For any part-time job, you need to be there for 4 to 5 hours. So your body should have that endurance to sustain that activity for so long, for either a full-time or a part-time job. The ability to bend, lift, reach, handle and feel is again something that is required for all the different jobs, because if the patient is not able to bend, the patient is not able to lift anything, the patient is not able to feel, again the patient will have very few options of occupations. So for any person who has more of physical impairments, it becomes very limited to make such people go into certain occupations. So this is again a problem which the rehabilitation therapist might face. Another problem that we might face are the subjective attributes of the patient. These attributes are something that differs from patient to patient. One of them is the age of the patient. An older age or an older individual, it becomes very difficult, because the patient may not have that motivation level, the patient will not be that tolerant, and it also becomes difficult to train these people, to educate these people in developing new skills. So that is why older age is a problem. low educational level, low socio-economic background. For a person with low educational level, you only have a certain limited number of jobs that you can place the patient in. So that is why a low education level is a problem. And similarly, a low socio-economic background is a problem, because these kind of people will not be able to sustain a job for a long period if they are not satisfied economically or financially. These people will require more amount or more income to be generated, because they already belong to a low socio-economic background and they need more money in order to sustain their lives. Loneliness is again a factor which is important, because loneliness will cause all kinds of negative emotions in the mind of the patient. The patient may get demotivated, and that again will lead to discontinuity in the occupation, leading to a problem. Different psychosocial factors are also important, like low self-confidence, low health level. If the patient is having a low health level, the patient may take frequent leaves from the occupation, and because of these frequent leaves, the patient may not be well enough in order to go. The patient will keep getting demotivated, that no, I'm going to the occupation and I'm constantly sick, and so I don't want to go. Sometimes even the employer may have problems, because for any employer to have an employee who is taking many leaves, it is not quite plausible. The person may not be able to employ such a person again. A low quality of life is again a problem, and depression is one of the most important factors that we need to consider, because for a depressive person it becomes difficult to get the motivation level high. The person all the time keeps getting negative thoughts in their mind, and the person will not be able to continue the job for long. So these are the different problems that we usually face in the vocational rehabilitation process. All these problems need to be given due consideration when we are performing the evaluative and the rehabilitative processes, because if they are not given attention and care, it may ultimately lead to discontinuity and lack of satisfaction on part of the client. So this is where we end about the vocational problems. Thank you.